Hi, this is the walk around video of the Kia Seltos, the 2023 Kia Seltos facelift to be exact. And I've got the keys right here, and you can see that it's got a very interesting key fob. All the buttons run down the side. So pretty neat. I've not seen a key fob like this. And the car's pretty neat too. So to get started with major design changes, just remember it is a facelift, but Kia has done quite a bit in terms of the changes over here. So obviously the big change being the headlights. So now you get these crown jewel headlights. You've got the star map DRLs. You also have an LED sweeping light that looks quite stunning when it all lights up. And you can see that the front end looks sharper, more muscular. They retain the tiger nose grille, and I think that that's a great touch because that's what makes the Seltos stand apart. And it is also one of their brand design elements. So yeah, it looks fresh, it looks new, and they've done a pretty good job with those changes up front. Overall, the silhouette has not changed as much. As you can see over here from the side, the Seltos does retain its quintessential urban SUV looks, and pretty striking at that. But the one change that is noticeable, I don't know if you've noticed it yet, but yes, if you have, the wheels are bigger. The Seltos now rides on 18-inch alloys, and they look quite striking. I've obviously gone through a lot of water, so the shine is missing, but it's there. And as you can see, the proportions work really well. Again, by upsizing the wheels just a little bit. I think the previous one was on 17s, and now with the 18s, it looks sharper and brings out that muscular tone that the Seltos is all about. Moving on to the rear, you can see that the lights have been revised over here as well. So it sports these really cool, neat tail lights, and you also get sequential indicators. I'll just show you that in a bit, but let me just wrap up the rear here. The other touch that you get, and this is only on the turbo version, again, a very sporty touch to this machine that looks positively striking no matter which angle you view it from. So the Seltos is back in a bold and better avatar, and I think from a design sense, it looks more premium, it looks more plush, and when you step inside, you get the exact same feeling. But before I do get talking about the interiors, as promised, I'm going to show you those lights, and they look absolutely stunning. So for that, I'm going to have to fire up the car. You got a nice start-stop right here, and here you go. So you've got these very cool sequential turn indicators that look very striking. Well, you also get the indicators over here on the ORVMs, and you can see them again running in a sequential sort of pattern. Very neat. They flash and they add to your overall safety. Very visible at night. And the rear also gets very cool indicators. I think it's kind of futuristic, a little retro as well, but at the same time gives you that really neat upmarket feel. So that's just one of the things I wanted to show you about the lighting. But now let's move on back to the cabin and get talking about the interiors. As you can see, it's got the digital meter over here. So for the speedometer and for your RPM gauge, you've got a nice, neat display. You can scroll through a plethora of features on this, and once again, it's very neatly done. The infotainment system is pretty neat, and you've got you've got your regular navigation, device connection, so you can pair your phone with it. But I've noticed it doesn't have Apple CarPlay. It has Android Auto, but there is no Apple CarPlay. That is definitely something that I have taken note of while driving this car around. But overall, The system itself works brilliant. I think the touch, everything is just really neat. So it does everything very nicely. And even with the media player, you've got it seamlessly integrated and does a great job. And as I mentioned earlier, you've got the Bose audio system, which does a fantastic job of churning out your tracks and giving you that ultimate playback. Of course, on board you also have your standard stuff, which includes your USB-C charging, a regular USB port, a 12-volt output, and right up here, if you notice this tray, that is your wireless charger for your mobile phone. And the other upgrade that the Seltos does have is this. So now you get an electronic park brake, and as mentioned earlier, you've got the ventilated seats up front, which is another added touch. So good stuff going for you over there. The steering, your voice activation control, answer the phone, volume control, track changes, cruise control, scrolling through your driver information display, all of that can be accessed just with your thumbs. And speaking of which, the other element that you do get with the Seltos, and I will demonstrate that right now, is you've got voice commands. So for example, I can say, open the sunroof.
Opening the sunroof.
And there you go. It will open up the sunroof. Now the best part is that these commands work in multiple languages. So a demonstration of that would be right here. Sunroof band kar do.
Closing the sunroof.
So works in Hindi as well, and it does multiple languages. The fun part is that Kia has not just kept this very official. So you could actually say something like this. Car ka chat khol do.
Opening the sunroof.
How neat is that? So even if you say car ka chat khol do, it will open up the sunroof. Well, so you got a list of voice commands. You can control the temperature. So I could just tell the car to reduce the temperature, and it should do that as well. Reduce the driver side temperature.
Setting minimum temperature.
So once again, you keep your eyes on the road and you don't take your hands off the wheel, and yet you can control numerous features in the Seltos with voice commands. This was just a brief demo of that, but there is a long list of features that you can access just with the simple press of this button right here. And that gives you access to the voice recognition system and English, Hindi, and I believe a couple of other regional languages are also possible through this. So that's just one of the big, I think, neat touches that you get with the Seltos. Of course, the other big element that you do get, and you can see some of it over here, in the icons right up top. So you've got lane keep assist, lane departure warning, you've got emergency brake control, and this is all part of the ADAS level 2 suite that the new Seltos comes with. In fact, to run the ADAS feature, what Kia has done is given it a front camera. So there's your front camera right here, and you also have a single radar up front, and I'm not going to hunt for it. And towards the rear, you've got 2 radars, and all of these work in sync with each other to identify various obstacles, keep track of the lane, and all of that. And then that is processed in real time to make sure that all your ADAS features work extremely smooth. Now we've seen ADAS on different vehicles, and Kia told us that this one has been tuned specifically for India. And after having driven it around for a bit, I can tell you that they've done a fine job. It's not as interfering as other ADAS systems. And I think that that is a very big testament to just how much they've thought through on this product. The other big change with the new Seltos is this engine. Now, the Seltos is going to be offered with 3 engine options, this being the turbo 1.5 GDI petrol, and it delivers 160 PS of power and 253 Newton meters of torque. The other 2 engines are the tried and tested diesel, the 1.5, that does 116 PS of power and 250 Newton meters of torque. And you also get the standard 1.5 that delivers 115 PS of power and 144 Newton meters of torque. So, as far as engines go, Kia's got it covered, and it is this version that is obviously a very tempting option. So it makes it the most powerful SUV in its class currently with 160 PS. And I've been driving around, and I can tell you that it's a lot of fun. It's extremely responsive, and with the DCT and the paddle shifters, you can really opt for a lot of fun, whether it's on the highway, through the twisties, wherever you take it, you can have a blast with the Seltos and with this engine. It's quite frugal too. I think Kia has done their bit in ensuring that you get a great engine over here in terms of not just performance, but also your efficiency, because that is key to the entire package. Anyway, talking about the Seltos and talking about the engine and the way it drives, and as I mentioned, I've had the 1.5 turbo GDI with me. It has been a great run with it, and one of the standout things about driving the Seltos is that it still feels extremely engaging, despite the fact that Kia has played around with the suspension. If you remember the earlier one, a lot of customers gave the feedback that they felt that the suspension is a little tight and it felt a little jarring. They compared it to the cousin of the Seltos, which is the Creta, and that felt a lot more plush. So Kia has toyed around with the suspension. They've tweaked it, they've worked on it to ensure that it improves and delivers on that ride quality, and you can really feel the difference. And currently, I think they've done an absolutely fantastic job. And in this segment, it might be the plushest ride that you can get. That's how good it feels. And they've done it all without taking away from the handling part of it. So even while out on the highway doing 3-digit speeds, it was really nice and easy to keep this car in check. And I've really enjoyed driving this around. Of course, now you can see that the changes are more than just superficial. So Kia has put in a lot when it comes to the Seltos. And with that, obviously the expectations on price do change because we know what the original was priced at. And now you can see that there's a slew of new features on board. So the pricing is definitely something that you would have expected to have gone up. But the good news is that it still remains extremely competitive. Right, so as I said, pricing is key, and with all these changes you would expect it to have a big jump in pricing, but that is not the case. So in total there are 18 variants of the Kia Seltos coming out, and the base petrol 1.5 HTE starts at 10.89 lakhs. The diesel starts at 11.99 lakhs. And then you've got variants at the 12 lakh mark, at the 14, at the 15, some at 18. And then they top out for the range topping versions at 19.99 lakhs. So I think that they've obviously pulled a rabbit out of the hat to be able to package the new Seltos with this many features and also get it in at an ex-showroom pricing that's a shade under 20 lakhs. And that really is something that's going to work in its favor. I think the value for money option is very strong, and Kia had better have their production sorted to ensure that deliveries don't take long. But if you are interested and you want early delivery, and you know a friend who has a Kia product, they can log in on the website, generate something called a K code, and that gives you priority delivery on the new Seltos. So call up your Kia owner buddy and tell them to give you that code. I hope you've enjoyed this video where we've spoken in detail about the new Seltos, shown you some features. And on that note, do share, like, and subscribe to the MotorScribes YouTube channel. Hit that bell icon to ensure that you also get reminders and notifications when we put something up. The latest videos are out. And I do like hearing back from you. So please do write in. Do leave a comment behind if you've got a question, you've got a query, you want to know more about the Seltos. I'd be more than happy to answer that. That's one of the commitments I make to all my viewers, is that I answer every comment that comes in on the channel. So you will definitely hear from me, and I will get back to you. In case I don't know the answer immediately, it does take some time, but I do get in touch with the company and try and find the best answer for you. So I look forward to hearing from you. And on that note, I will sign off.